Switching sides, switching.
This is that crazy. That same slum. Yo, babe, look at this.
It is 6ix9ine. It's Treyway.
You right, babe. Bobs.
New footage of 6ix9ine hanging out with Trippie Redd's pregnant girlfriend just hit the net, and people are losing their minds. Yeah, that same 6ix9ine. Now, a lot of folks believe this very footage set off the wild chain of events that left 6ix9ine's girl in serious danger just weeks later. I've got the full scoop, so let's break it all down. This was the day 6ix9ine decided to pull one of the most disrespectful moves hip-hop has ever seen. Imagine this. He really climbed into bed with Trippie's ex, filmed the whole thing, and then blasted it all over Instagram like it was some twisted victory parade. Later on, 6ix9ine got extra bold. He cozied up with Shorty, and they straight up started singing Trippie's own tracks right back at him. They weren't just humming either. They were belting out songs like Love Usher's You Got It Bad, and even Marvin Gaye's Sexual Healing just to clown Trippie. That's a whole new level of petty, but wait, it didn't stop there. 6ix9ine really went out of his way to tag Trippie in those posts, making sure he couldn't ignore it. And when Hollywood Fix pressed him about whether he actually slept with her, 6ix9ine dropped the bomb, saying, "I the out of that Nick girl." That's the kind of line that can spark real street wars. But check this out. Trippie actually called it before it even went down. He saw the whole thing coming from miles away, probably because he already knew 6ix9ine's playbook. This wasn't some brand new stunt. 6ix9ine had built a whole reputation for coming at his rivals through their women. But the smoke between these two didn't even start with this situation.
I think it'd be like hard, like dating a rapper, like a rap star, like a male rapper.
Right, yeah, she's gonna have to deal with it. I mean,
like Trippie Redd been in the game a minute. Like he got crazy fans too.
Man, they be going crazy. So you already know the groupie lines down the corner after every show. Him as a man is gonna have to come to terms with that with just him and God. Because I don't want to be a hypocrite because I know what I was doing. But she's my daughter. If you love her and you love the child and you plan on being with her, then nowadays with social media.
Nah, we gotta rewind back to 2017 when they were still cool, even working together on tracks like Pole's 1469. Everything flipped when Trippie hopped on social media and straight up called 6ix9ine a pedophile, pointing to that 2015 guilty plea. Trippie made it loud and clear, saying, 1,400 do not endorse pedophiles. That one statement ended everything. Fast forward to now, and Trippie finds himself tangled in a whole new mess, with 6ix9ine turning the beef into something way darker and more personal. This time it ain't about no ex-girlfriends. Things just got way deeper. We're talking about Coi Leray dropping the bomb on January 1st, 2025, announcing she was pregnant with Trippie as the father. She was glowing in those photos, rocking her bump with pink balloons, spelling out Koi like it was a fairy tale moment. But that fairy tale only lasted 3 weeks before the whole story flipped upside down. On January 22nd, 2025, Koi hit her Instagram stories with a gut punch post. Nothing worse than being cheated on. I wouldn't wish this pain on my worst enemy. And yo, when a pregnant woman blasts out something like that, you already know the streets, and the blogs are about to go wild. The internet lit up instantly. Fans started tearing into Trippie, flooding comments with lines like, "Why come back around and get her pregnant if you were just gonna cheat?" And, "He got the nerve to be looking the way he do?" The audacity was unreal. Even Tia Kemp, Rick Ross's ex, jumped in and publicly dragged Trippie in a video, throwing gasoline on the fire. But hold up, it got even messier when AX got pulled right back into the chaos. Fans started pointing fingers at her, claiming she was the other woman, until she had to step up and shut it down, saying, "What's not really cool is coming on my page and harassing me based off assumptions." She told folks she was Trippie's first love, but swore she wasn't the reason his home got wrecked. But then, boom, DMs between Koi and AX leaked, and it was pure flames. Koi came out swinging, calling AX a loser and accusing her of selling, while AX fired right back with, "Because you're on BS while you pregnant." That got nothing to do with me, shorty. And it didn't stop there. AX even claimed Trippie was offering her money just to spend time with him. As if that wasn't enough chaos, Trippie posted a mirror selfie in April 2025, flexing with a brand new girlfriend, while Koi was already over 6 months pregnant.
It's gonna be hard to do any type of cheating. But if you do it, you just be respectful at it.
So you think being in a monogamous relationship is gonna be hard for them with the pressure
It's hard to be in a monogamous relationship with anybody right now. I know Koi is a one-woman type guy.
Mhm.
She's not with the, him messing around. So
because some relationships be open. She's not with that open stuff.
No,
She's like, hey, you're mine.
The internet exploded, with fans flooding his comments like, cheating on your pregnant girl is insane. Koi came swinging back with a whole track aimed at the cheating. She dropped lines like, X is supposed to be an X for a reason. Wanted to be there while you was fighting demons. I had family plans. You had plans for cheating. Camera in the room, you ain't know I was creeping. Shorty wasn't just venting. She had straight up evidence to back her bars. But here's the wild part. Koi's dad, Benzino, had already prophesied this mess. On a podcast, he claimed Trippie was bound to cheat, then threw in some blunt advice for the couple. Yeah, no, she ain't with that, and clearly he wasn't wrong. Now let's dive deeper into Trippie's messy love life, because this dude's track record is wild. He's been tied to all kinds of women in the industry, and nearly every single fling ended in drama. Before Koi, he bounced around from girl to girl, leaving chaos behind him. And the saga between him and Koi? It stretches all the way back to 2019, when they first started dating while climbing the hip-hop scene. But that first round, brief, intense, and explosive. It only lasted a few months before everything blew up. When they split back in 2019, Trippie had the nerve to drop a track called Liray on his album A Love Letter to You 4, putting their breakup on full blast. He rapped lines like, it was love at first sight and misery after 2 months, always feeling up, either by love or no love. Total disrespect aimed right at Koi. Koi wasn't having it. In a 2020 No Jumper interview, she made it clear she didn't appreciate being put on wax like that. But here's the twist. Despite the pain, she later called Trippie her soulmate in a 2020 Soap Central interview, proving she still had feelings for him even after all the drama. Fast forward to August 2024, and boom, they gave it another shot. Koi even posted, and later deleted, a screenshot of them on FaceTime, captioned, sleeping on FaceTime, waking up on FaceTime, and shouted out their shared obsession with Despicable Me's minions. Trippie made it official in September 2024, telling TMZ he hit Koi back up because he missed her, calling their whole vibe low-key. From there, they started popping out together everywhere, showing up at Revolt World 2024 in Atlanta on September 20th, and even walking the carpet at the Dollsville and the Doodleverse premiere at TIFF on September 7th. And they weren't hiding their feelings either. The two shared a hug and kiss on stage in Ohio, while Koi posted a sweet message. Thank you for turning up with me on my last show day in Ohio at Trippie Redd. The world loves you and so do I. It looked like picture-perfect love.
Is there any advice you would give to Trippie Redd in dealing with your daughter?
If there was any advice I would give him with Koi being pregnant is to understand that they're gonna go through hormonal changes. Don't take it too personal. Mm-hmm. If she's flipping out, let it.
But here's the catch. Trippie's history tells a different story. Dude has a hard time staying loyal. Even back in his 2017 to 2018 run with AX, rumors swirled about his faithfulness. So when AX popped up in that 2018 video with 6ix9ine, it wasn't completely random. Their relationship already had cracks showing. So by the time Koi announced her pregnancy in January 2025, showing off her bump while Trippie held her close, it looked flawless on the outside. But fans already had doubts. Koi confirmed on her Instagram stories that she was already over 4 months pregnant, explaining her petite frame made the bump harder to spot. The reveal came with photos and videos, even pink balloons spelling out Koi, hinting at a baby girl, something that later got confirmed in April 2025 when Koi's mom posted on Instagram. For a minute, it looked like pure happiness. But that joy didn't last long. The cheating allegations that popped up in January 2025 weren't just baseless rumors. They came with actual receipts and major drama. Trippie made it worse when he straight up mocked Koi's song about his cheating, posting a video on February 5th, 2025, laughing, blowing raspberries, and saying, "that it is," before repeating it again. That clip exposed his true character. And then came February 18th, when he tweeted, "To every I ever did wrong, I'll do it again." Wild. That's the kind of statement that tells you everything about where his head's really at. This came right after Koi's February 17th ex-post about how men need discipline in relationships. A clear sign the tension was nowhere near over. The disrespect hit a whole new peak when word got out that Trippie and Koi had split, again, by February 2025, making it their second breakup. But Trippie wasn't done being messy. By August 2025, he was already posting romantic birthday pics with AX, showing they were back together, while Koi was at home dealing with the reality of being a brand new mom to their daughter, Miko, born in June 2025. And the drama didn't stop there. Things took an even darker turn when the spotlight shifted back to 6ix9ine and his wild history of targeting women tied to his rap rivals.
I didn't like it, you know? It was very like, what the f? Right. Because I always thought like, you know, we really had something outside of the music. You feel me? So I'm just like, damn, let's really just go ahead and, can we get to, like, if you got something to say, let's get together and you say that shit in my...
We already saw how he tried to play Trippie dirty with the X situation. But trust, this wasn't his first time running that kind of game. 6ix9ine had a whole playbook of disrespect, and it was straight out of 50 Cent's bag of tricks, going after enemies by messing with their women. And one of the biggest examples, Chief Keef's baby mama, Slim Danger, who got dragged right into the middle of 6ix9ine's petty tactics. Back in June 2018, things between 6ix9ine and Chief Keef exploded after beef started brewing in May over some real street business. 6ix9ine was throwing shots at Keef and his Glow Gang affiliate Tato over Tato's alleged domestic abuse of rapper Cuban Doll, who just so happened to be tight with 6ix9ine. But instead of keeping it on wax, 6ix9ine took it to the streets in the dirtiest, most disrespectful way possible. On June 13th, 2018, 6ix9ine linked up with Slim Danger, the mother of Keef's son, Zinc Clark, and took her on a wild $75,000 Gucci shopping spree in New York City. They bought it all: fanny packs, sunglasses, wallets, dresses. And of course, 6ix9ine made sure to record every second for Instagram. But here's the thing, it wasn't just about flexing cash. The video showed Slim Danger proudly introducing herself while 6ix9ine got real close, sliding his hand down her shirt and even kissing her neck. That wasn't just trolling, that was a straight-up declaration of war against Chief Keef. Slim Danger even rocked 6ix9ine's signature TR three-way chain. That was the ultimate slap in Chief Keef's face. 6ix9ine doubled down with an IG caption that read, "Rest in peace," basically claiming he was about to bury Keef's whole reputation. But wait, it got even wilder. Slim Danger saw her moment and cashed in by dropping a track called Gucci Fanny on June 28, 2018, a nod to that Gucci waist bag 6ix9ine bought her. The song was drenched in auto-tune and name-dropped both rappers, but let's be real, it wasn't exactly a hit. Chief Keef, though? He played it cool. Sources said he couldn't care less about Slim's antics with 6ix9ine. His associate Lil Reese, on the other hand, hopped on Instagram with a savage comment. "Bro, we don't love no fatty. Officer Hernandez, you know how to trick the internet." That was a direct shot at both Slim's loyalty and 6ix9ine's trolling. And 6ix9ine didn't stop there. He tried running the exact same play the very next day. On June 14th, 2018, he slid into another one of Keef's baby mama's DMs, Simone Patton, asking, "You Keef BM? Let me fly you out, take you shopping." But Shorty wasn't going for it. Simone wasn't playing. She screenshotted 6ix9ine's DMs and blasted them online with the caption, "This for life. Never will I ever sell out my baby daddy. Y'all got no loyalty. Then wonder why he don't take care of your kids."
What's up, this Slim Danger, this Chief Keef baby mama. I'm out here in New York, and guess what? That don't do shit for his fucking kid.
You know, Treyway here, man. If you don't know how to take care of your girl, gonna take.
That was a straight shot at Slim Danger, making it crystal clear she wasn't folding. But the drama didn't just hit Keef's camp. It blew back on 6ix9ine too. Sarah Molina, the mother of his daughter Soraya, jumped on Instagram Live furious, calling him out for blowing racks on Slim Danger while she and their child were at home. The public wasn't rocking with 6ix9ine either. Charlemagne Tha God even crowned him Donkey of the Day in 2018, roasting him for using Slim as a pawn while also clowning her for playing along. Over on Reddit, the hip-hop heads ranked it one of the most disrespectful stunts ever, with the post racking up 8,500 upvotes and 2,400 comments. But yo, the plot thickened in May 2020 when the tables turned a bit. Lana, 6ix9ine's alleged second baby mama, dropped receipts of DMs from Chief Keef himself. In the messages, Keef told her she was too pretty for the kid, and even asked when she'd be his girl. Lana posted, "I could link my baby dad's ops, but I am not for the street. Sorry at Chief Keef," basically hinting she entertained it, but never moved on it. In May 2022, Slim Danger hopped on an Instagram Live with the Island Boys and stirred the pot even more. She hinted that 6ix9ine did way more for her than just that Gucci shopping spree, basically implying there was some deeper involvement between them. Then she went off about how Chief Keef ain't do nothing for their son, which had the Island Boys wilding out on Live, screaming, "F Chief Keef." That moment just proved what 6ix9ine had been doing all along, weaponizing women tied to his rivals to hit them where it hurt most. From AX to Slim Danger, he had a whole playbook built around dragging personal relationships into the beef. But yo, this game wasn't just about trolling. That reckless strategy might have actually put the people close to him in serious danger. Because here's where things take a tragic turn. All that street smoke he stirred up eventually came back around in the worst way possible. In August 2025, Ariela Lalan Gosta Maya Polanco, a close friend and rumored girlfriend of 6ix9ine, was found dead in her car on the Cross County Parkway in Mount Vernon, New York, with multiple gunshot wounds. Ariela was a 33-year-old Dominican influencer with over 556,000 followers on Instagram, and she wasn't just some random face. She even starred in 6ix9ine's 2023 Wape music video. The Westchester County Police ruled her death a homicide, saying she was clearly targeted and not some random victim. Chillingly, she had just finished her shift at Icon New York, a Manhattan lounge, around 4:30 a.m. that morning before tragedy struck. 6ix9ine was crushed. He flooded his Instagram stories with tributes, calling her a tremendous woman, Queen of New York, and my sister, while sharing photos and videos of their memories. Even Cardi B showed love, posting RIP Dominican Pretty on Instagram, proving Ariela had major respect in the community. But here's where the story takes a shocking twist, and it loops right back to the Trippie Redd beef. A YouTube video started spreading online, claiming Trippie supposedly revealed why he caught where you held 6ix9ine's girlfriend, hinting that Trippie might have had a hand in Ariela's death as revenge for their years-long feud, especially after that 2018 mess with AX. Remember when we talked about 6ix9ine's 2019 racketeering trial, where he flat out admitted he orchestrated that attack on Trippie at a New York hotel back in November 2017? On the stand, he said he was heated over Trippie's online taunts and told his manager to handle it, which ended with Anthony Harv Ellison punching Trippie right in the mouth. And 6ix9ine didn't stop there. He even testified that Trippie Redd was affiliated with the 5'9" Brims gang, putting all their business out in court. He laid it all out, how his crew staked out Trippie's video shoot, tracked his van, and ambushed him. That wasn't rap beef anymore. That was straight up street warfare with real consequences, and it only got darker. 6ix9ine also confessed during that same trial that he offered his associate Kintia Kuda B. McKenzie $20,000 to shoot at Chief Keef outside the W Hotel in NYC in June 2018, literally the same time he was parading Keef's baby mama Slim Danger around on that Gucci shopping spree. The pattern is crystal clear. 6ix9ine was juggling rap beef, gang politics, and personal disrespect all at once, playing reckless games with dangerous people. So when that YouTube video claims Trippie might have been tied to Ariella's death, it leans heavy on this messy history, the hotel attack, the AX situation, the gang ties, all of it pointing toward a motive for revenge. The word on the streets is that all those years of back and forth between 6ix9ine and Trippie finally blew up to the ultimate level. Social media went crazy. Accounts like at WorldStar claimed Ariella was caught up in street beef tied to her partner, while At My Mixtape has called it a targeted hit. And honestly, when you look at 6ix9ine's long history of stirring enemies with reckless stunts, it's not hard to see how someone close to him could end up being the one caught in the crossfire. Think about it. He clowned Chief Keef by parading his baby mama through Gucci, humiliated Trippie with the AX situation, and then took it even further by being linked to real shootings and ambushes. Add in his 2019 cooperation with the feds, where he snitched on his 9 associates, and boom, that only multiplied the number of people gunning for him. Clubs across New York, Icon, Starlets, and Opus Lounge all paid tribute to Ariella, mourning her as a shining star and a devoted mother of 2 daughters. But the tragic reality is this: she was caught up in the deadly storm orbiting 6ix9ine, a world where rap beef doesn't just stay on wax, it spills over into real-life violence. Targeting someone's girl can spark deadly retaliation, and the timing here is chilling. Trippie was already in the middle of chaos with Koi pregnancy drama and cheating allegations, plus AX getting dragged back into the spotlight, and old footage of 6ix9ine kept resurfacing online. Then, boom, August 2025 hits, and Ariella ends up dead in what police are calling a targeted attack. Whether or not Trippie actually had anything to do with Ariella's death, the fact that people are even connecting the dots shows just how messy and dangerous these feuds really are. When you're out here disrespecting people, taking their baby mamas on shopping sprees, flexing with their exes, and tying yourself deep into street politics, that energy always circles back. And that's the brutal lesson in all of this. 6ix9ine built his whole career off controversy and disrespect, but when you play with fire in the streets, innocent people end up getting burned. Ariella was a mother of 2, just trying to live her life. And yet she got pulled straight into the line of fire from rap feuds and gang wars she didn't create. But trust, this is only scratching the surface of the dangerous web 6ix9ine spun over the years, and the fallout is still unfolding. Because this whole pattern of making enemies goes way deeper than just Trippie or Chief Keef. 6ix9ine's cooperation with the feds in 2019, when he testified against his 9 Gangsta Bloods associates, created a brand new level of enemies, people with real reasons to want him gone. And he didn't just tell on street dudes. Nah, he exposed an entire network of crime. On the stand, he laid out how his crew stalked rivals, set up ambushes, and even admitted he put $20,000 on shootings. When you put that kind of info on the record, you're not just making rap rivals, you're creating life or death enemies who'll never forget your name. And don't forget, the violence around 6ix9ine didn't start there. Back in July 2018, he was kidnapped and robbed by his own 9 associates. Dashcam footage dropped a year later in 2019, showing just how ugly it got. They stripped him of everything: his jewelry, his cash, even his dignity. When your own crew is willing to line you up like that, just imagine what your enemies are plotting. The attack on Trippie at that New York hotel in November 2017 wasn't just random smoke. 6ix9ine testified that his team tracked Trippie's van from a video shoot, planned the whole thing step by step, and executed it like a military hit. That's the level of cold, calculated violence we're talking about. And once you step into that world, there's no turning back. That's what makes Ariella's death even more heartbreaking. She symbolized everything 6ix9ine claimed to represent: Dominican pride, New York loyalty, and support for women grinding in the nightlife scene. She wasn't just an IG face with 556,000 followers. She was respected, hustling at real spots like Icon New York, building her own lane. But being in 6ix9ine's orbit meant danger, whether she realized it or not. And the timing? You can't ignore it. August 2025 wasn't just any year. It was the same time the Trippie and Koi drama was boiling over, the same time X got dragged back into old beef, and the same time Ariella's name ended up tied to a deadly street war. 2025 was the year old ghost came crawling back. Fans were digging up that 2018 footage of 6ix9ine disrespecting Trippie, reopening wounds that never really healed, and reminding every enemy he ever clowned about the dirt he pulled. Then Ariella gets killed, and police confirmed it wasn't random. She was specifically targeted. Somebody wanted her gone, no question about it. Whether it tied back to 6ix9ine's past rivals or his current ones, the fact is simple. Being close to him painted a bullseye on her back. The streets don't forget. And when you build a career on disrespect, violence, and snitching, that energy always comes full circle. And 6ix9ine wasn't just beefing with Trippie and Chief Keef. Don't forget he dragged Casanova's name into his trial testimony too, stacking up even more dangerous enemies. These weren't just rap clashes. They were full-blown street wars with deadly consequences. That's what makes this cycle so twisted. Starting from the hotel ambush on Trippie, to the attempted hit on Chief Keef, to 6ix9ine's own kidnapping, and now Ariella's murder. Every feud just escalated the violence higher and higher. Each incident only raised the stakes higher and made the enemies more dangerous. And yo, this ties right back to everything with Trippie and Koi too. When you live off creating drama, disrespecting people, and stirring conflict just for clout, that energy eventually turns into real-life violence. Whether or not Trippie actually had anything to do with what happened to Ariella, the fact people are even connecting those dots shows just how deep this web of beef and revenge really runs. The streets don't forget, and when you stack up enemies the way 6ix9ine, rival rappers, gang members, and even federal witnesses who sat behind bars because of his testimony, the blowback is bound to get deadly. Ariella ended up paying the ultimate price simply for being caught in that dangerous orbit, and that's the true tragedy of this whole saga. If you rocked with this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and turn on notifications. Because trust me, you don't want to miss the next breakdown of all this messy real-life rap drama